So week 2 was fucking crazy with a bunch of football, a lot of upsets, whole bunch of shit happened for week 2. It did not disappoint whatsoever. Probably disappointed my pockets a lot, but besides that, it was fucking amazing. I want to go ahead and say that my TikTok page and Instagram page would be in the bio, so if you want to show some support and love, it'd be very appreciated, and I'll really enjoy it. Thank you. But other than that, let's go ahead and get right into it. So today I'm going to be talking about the 3 upsets that I find crazy that even happened. Marshall versus Notre Dame, App State versus Texas A&M, and I really got to shout out Georgia Southern versus Nebraska. Them 3 games were beyond crazy to watch. They're really fun to watch. I love defensive games in general, so low scores, a lot of defense. Georgia Southern and Nebraska was a high-scoring game, but because Georgia Southern is home state school for me, I really enjoyed it. When Georgia wins, I want to root someone else that was from my state. So Georgia Southern, I always root for. They pulled off a win against Nebraska, so I find that really good for the program. But we're going to go ahead and get into it with the Marshall Notre Dame game. First of all, Tyler Buchner did not look good. He had 14 incompletions, 2 interceptions. That defensive line for Marshall was getting to the quarterback, forcing him to run the ball. He wasn't reading his cues very well. That defense also did really well against the run, having them average 3.5 yards a carry. Marshall's defense stepped up when it really mattered. There were some points left out there on the field that the Fighting Irish could have capitalized on. Did not capitalize. Turnovers just really killed them in the end. When they brung in the backup quarterback, Payne, he also threw an interception. It was just a real killer game. This knocks Notre Dame out of the top 25 for me. The way they perform, Marcus Freeman being 0-3. First time a Fighting Irish head coach was like that since like 1986. I don't see them being a playoff team. I don't see them making a New Year's Eve bowl if they keep going down the route that they're going. Their defense is all right. Their offense is shaky. If they can fix their offensive, then yes, they can probably fix their season. But the way they're going right now, it does not look like that. But I'm not going to count them out because they are a good program and they do have a good history of performing pretty well.
Here's the blitz.
But the day started off with upsets. You had App State versus Texas A&M. First off, App State has a history of upsets. But Texas A&M, when they were facing Sam Houston, their offense looked shaky right off the bat. You already knew their offense for the season was going to look bad, but I knew going into the App State game that Texas A&M really had to show that #1 recruiting class was something. But their offense just did not look like that. Their defense did. Their defense looked pretty good. I will say that. Their defense is a top-tier defense. I like where their defense is at. App State's defense looked pretty good. Just turnovers. Turnovers is a killer. If you cannot take care of the ball, interceptions, fumbles, if you just cannot take care of the ball as an offense, it is a killer. He had 2 killer fumbles in the game that led to App State taking over on the ball. App State's defense stepped up to the challenge, and App State has a big, rich history of upsetting teams. Texas A&M, for me, in the top 25, I have them in the top 20. I wouldn't knock them completely out because their defense is still top tier, and I do think they're going to pick this up and they're going to bring it around. I see them going 8-4 to finish the season. I don't see them competing for an SEC championship or a national championship, but I do see them finishing in a New Year's Eve bowl. King looked pretty good from time. They just need to be more consistent. If they can do that, and their run game is not terrible. If they could figure out how to keep that offense going when they do have missteps and just keep going, because that's what happened a lot in this game. When they had miscues, you could see it, like their confidence level in their offense would just drop. If they could overcome that when they have bad plays and get back out there and say, okay, that was a bad play and move on, then they can probably keep progressing in the season. But if they keep letting their confidence go down, they're not going to carry this over, and this is going to carry over into one loss after another loss after another loss. But I want to make a quick point, a quick hit. I just want to shout out Georgia Southern just because I grew up about 45 minutes away from Statesboro. So that's kind of a home team school for me. They upset Scott Frost from Nebraska. And Scott Frost, he's out the door. There's no doubt about it. Actually, in the middle of making this video, Scott Frost just got fired from Nebraska as their head coach. So Nebraska, they're going to have a lot of turnaround they need to do. They need to figure out their identity. They need to figure out who they are and need to get that defense together. That defense, there's too many missteps in that defense. There's too many holes in that defense. They're letting up too many points, letting the running backs get free, letting the receivers get open. If they're going to win games and they're going to be a good team in the Big Ten, they got to fix that defense. Defense wins games. Special teams wins games. And something that I've seen over the past 2 weeks, it's going to come down to when it comes to playoff time and SEC championships, Big Ten championships, ACC championships, and so on. It's going to come down to the special teams. Special teams is going to win that. Whatever team that's in, special teams is going to win that, because over the past 2 weeks I've seen a pattern. Special teams is what wins these games. It hasn't been the high-power offenses or the really good defenses that just shut out opponents. It's been the defense. It's been the special team turnovers, the special team conversions. It's been the special teams that have won these games with the field goals, the kick, the extra point, the kickoff returns, the punt returns, punt blocks. It has been special team to win games. And Nebraska, they're in a hole right now. I don't see them making a New Year's Eve bowl. I don't see it. I don't see them competing for Big Ten championships anytime soon. This program is really going down. But I think with Scott Frost getting out of the head coaching job, they can find someone else. No hit on Scott Frost. I just don't think what he was doing at Nebraska was working. And it was a right move by Nebraska to move on and find someone else that can fill that role. And this is a statement that was released on Twitter that I came across. So I think Nebraska is about to show a different side. They're about to turn a new page. Next week, or my next video I'm going to be posting, I'm going to be talking about my update on week 3, my rankings, where I think teams are leaning, my top 10, where I think they're leaning, who I think is going to start making it towards the playoffs, and who are the playoff contenders. I want to thank for everyone who watched this and the support that y'all showing. If y'all please will subscribe and check out my socials and my bio. Thank you.